Welcome back to the big room. I got a boo-boo.
Oh, no.
I had a paper cut on my finger somewhere in a
Aw.
Band-Aid, and it makes me feel like I can't use a sink.
Do you feel like a little baby?
Yeah.
Do
Also,
you need a lollipop?
I'm lucky to be alive today.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why?
Last night, I woke up at some point, and I get cramps in my right calf sometimes.
Yeah?
I had one that lasted like 2 full minutes,
Ew.
and I thought I was dying. There was a point in it where I went, maybe if I calm down, and I calmed down, and then it still hurt.
Like it's a devil's snare.
Yeah, it was the worst. It lasts forever. I like to stretch my legs, like point my toes and really stretch my legs at night for some reason. And every couple days when I do it, I don't know if it's a dehydration thing, although I had 0 alcohol yesterday and drank a decent amount of water. My calf was like a rock. It was brutal. So, but I survived.
Those are the worst.
And I'm here and I'm brave.
I'm proud of you
Yeah.
for making it through.
Yeah. Almost called the ambulance. My calf. It hurts.
Eh.
They're like, drink some pickle juice.
Pickle juice.
Electrolytes help with cramping.
Grapefruit juice.
Oh.
Gatorade.
Gatorade.
Plants need it.
Plants need Gatorade?
Oh, they need electrolytes.
Pour
We watched,
Gatorade in your plants.
we watched Casper the Friendly Ghost. Well, we watched Casper. Based on Casper the Friendly Ghost. Important distinction. So,
I didn't know it was a comic.
well, it wasn't first. More on that in a minute. So,
Wow.
May 26, 1995, this came out. I am the only person on this show that was not alive when Casper came out.
I mean,
Wow.
you were a little fetus in a womb
Yes.
floating in a sack.
Yes.
So you were here.
Yeah, but not really.
Yeah.
If we're being strict about it,
Yeah.
nah.
You didn't
You were alive.
hadn't been birthed forth. Yes, I was.
You were 2 months old. 3 months old.
March, April, May. 3, yeah.
I know how to count.
Yeah. I just had to check.
Thanks for that mathematical confidence.
Well, first you said 2. It sounds like February to May sounds like more than 3 months. But it's only 3 months.
I was
Wow.
Like-
3 years old. Carl was probably 10.
I was
Yeah,
like
Carl was 500 years old.
I was working on 5, yeah.
Yeah. He had a job. He's
Yeah,
a boy. Carl's not that old, you guys. Writers. Directed by Brad Silberling.
Nailed it.
Never heard of him.
Well, he did Lemony Snicket series of unfortunate events.
I remember the first
Oh.
one.
Oh, he did the first one only.
Is there more than one? Is
They
there-
only made one movie, right?
They only made
and
one
then
movie,
Then it became
right.
a TV series.
Then it was a
Yeah.
show, but that was more recent. He also did the shitty Land of the Lost remake in like 2009, or with Will Ferrell.
Is that like Will Ferrell, or am I
Yeah.
thinking of something else?
Yeah,
Okay.
Will Ferrell. Budget 55 million. Box office 288 million.
Wow.
And I forgot the Rotten
Cleaned
Tomatoes,
up.
but it's somewhere in the 50 or 60%. It's like it's not very well rated.
Yeah, I think both and the regular review was like 50-50.
Yeah,
It's
so it's
pretty
like-
bleak.
This is a coin flip movie. You know?
How did it come up that how did you think of this movie?
So
and
we
then
originally had a
why did
different
we watch
movie
it?
in
Yeah,
this
why this
slot.
movie?
So the reason why this movie is, I remember seeing previews for this on like VHSs in the late 90s, early 2000s. So it's always been in the back of my mind. And we were originally this week going to watch Monster House, but that like for a podcast where you like want people to listen to it, more people have seen Casper than Monster House, which is a movie that I only like because Dan Harmon wrote it and Rob Schraub.
I had never even heard of Monster House until you brought it up.
It's okay. I remember being even a little freaked out about by it when I watched it. Like, it's got some moments. But Casper, it was like, we're doing the movie next week, which we'll announce at the end of the show. And this kind of seemed like not equal. Like, that's not fair.
It's not equal.
But it was like, you know, it was a thing when we were
more
kids.
Halloween.
Yeah, it's
It's the spooky season, but
They
we
have
don't like too spooky. So.
Halloween party.
they do.
They did.
It's a central plot point.
Yeah.
So that's why Casper. Writers were Sherry Stoner and Deanna Oliver. And there's an uncredited rewriter, J.J. Abrams. Did some rewrites.
Really?
You love J.J. Abrams.
He did some punch-ups on the script.
If he's uncredited, how do you know?
He's well, he was only like 31 at this point, something like that. He was a young man, if you will. Old to me. It is based on Casper the Friendly Ghost, a theatrical animated cartoon series from the mid-1940s. I believe 1945. It started. Then it was a comic, and then they revived it for
I
this.
see.
A comic after a show.
Okay.
That's interesting.
That is interesting.
Hey, man, it's
Yeah.
40s. There were no rules. The non-set scenes, so much of the movie's filmed on a set, like on a soundstage. All the interior and even exterior house shots, you could tell when some of the characters are at like that gate. There's a couple shots at the gate in front of the house, and you can tell the house is a bigature in the background. That's what they called Weta Workshop used the term bigature for the Lord of the Rings series.
I like
a lot of the big landscapes, because they're miniatures, but they're 8 feet tall,
Right.
so they're bigatures. Makes sense if you
Makes
try not
sense.
to think about it too hard. The non-set scenes, so the scenes set outside in
Yes.
Maine, which there were only a handful. They were shot in Camden, Maine, and set in Friendship, Maine.
Oh.
Both are harbor towns, similar to Bar Harbor, where we were just on vacation.
Oh.
And they're both, I believe, Camden, Maine they're both around 2 hours away from where we were.
Okay.
South.
It's not too far.
And we were on an island.
South.
So yeah, they were south. But
Well, then this movie is a liar because the leaves shouldn't be that red yet. Because we were there. Because I think they mentioned the harvest moon. So it's dated in like early October, and we were there in early October.
well,
And it was green.
Some
Global warming.
Some global warming has occurred in the
Oh.
last 30 years.
We're too warm.
Too warm.
Why would they not just film in Friendship or call the town Camden?
Permits? Who knows? Who knows?
Friendship sounds better.
Friendship
for
is
this
a way better
type of
name.
movie, you know.
I looked up Friendship, Maine, and it said it was a very similar harbor town to Bar Harbor. In fact, there was a scene by a dock, and I was like, were we literally there? No.
No.
We were literally 2 hours
They
away.
just all look the same.
But it does look similar. That's kind of my facts-ish. So, hour and a half as well. Beautiful. I wept
Love it.
tears of
Love it.
freaking joy at the runtime. I'm so tired of long movies. And it's
It
not...
still felt kind of long to me though.
It did. This...
Yeah.
Like so much filler. Like
I kind
to
of was
kinda
in
drive the
two
plot along.
minds for Nick. I always think of Nick for some reason. Because Carl and I
Aw.
tend to agree. I don't have to think hard about what Carl thinks of a movie because we're
I'm simple.
pretty lockstep. There are exceptions.
I keep
And
you on your
normally when
toes.
there are exceptions, we are leagues apart, which is really funny. So we're either in lockstep or we are on the moon from each other.
Yeah.
You, though, I was thinking Nick will either A, hate this movie because of the pacing, or B, love this movie because he's an absolute sucker for emotional heartstring pulls.
I am somewhere in the middle.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It definitely felt long in the beginning. But it's only an hour and a half, so like feeling long is a little more forgivable.
So it felt long in the beginning. However, it's weird because it got to the point within 5 minutes. Within 5 minutes, we had the house, we had
Yeah,
the
true.
ghosts, and we were introduced to at least two of our main characters in Rugg and Kerrigan. Or not Rugg, but Dibbs and Kerrigan.
Dibbs.
Rugg is Bill Stein's character. So a lot of characters to keep track of.
Yeah.
I listed some in Discord for us before the show. It's not even all of them. It's not even all. That's
a
all.
lot
the
of
main characters.
cameos.
They're mostly not that
Yeah.
important.
The most outdated cameos.
So that's what I wanted to talk about. Nick started talking about it pre-show, and I was like, "Shut up! I have a note about it." So there's a lot of cameos in the very beginning. There's actually two, one of which I got because I've seen Ghostbusters.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Dan Aykroyd as Ray Stans, his actual character from Ghostbusters, is like, "Who are you gonna call? Not us!" and bones out of the house. So
That's good.
the
Which
really
their stuff doesn't work, but then a regular vacuum does. Like, come on.
yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you.
That was just for the adults that saw the other movie.
So that's all of the cameos. None of
Yeah.
the cameos are for children, save one. The Crypt Keeper was a kid's show, and that's in the mirror scene. So in the mirror scene, to work back to front, we have a couple cameos really quick in the scene where Dr. James Harvey is looking in a mirror, and he's been possessed weirdly by the three ghosts that just like possess him to freak him out in the mirror. And in order, we have Clint Eastwood as himself. We have Rodney Dangerfield as himself. We have Mel Gibson as himself, and then John Kaser as the Crypt Keeper. There was a cut cameo from that scene. It was originally at least one cameo longer, and it was Steven Spielberg, who was the executive producer for this movie. And his scene got left on the cutting room floor to his relief because he, quote, was uncomfortable in front of the camera.
Interesting.
So, other than that, so the very first cameo we see is, this one takes some explaining. Don Novello is Father Guido Sarducci. He's the first guy, he's the priest guy that does the exorcism. He's like, yeah, I've read
Gets his
about
head
him,
spun
whatever.
around.
He gets his head spun around. That's an SNL character from the early 90s.
Okay.
Which I feel like I've seen. Like, as soon as he started talking, I was like, I've heard this. But I can't place where I would have
his
heard
cadence
it.
felt familiar.
Yeah.
but
I
couldn't place it
agree,
either.
but where would I have seen that?
But maybe, I don't know, maybe an old SNL video came up at some point, or maybe he did other cameos. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like,
Maybe.
this is familiar somehow.
It's interesting to me that literally, save for Fred Rogers, who's just on the TV, Mr. Rogers is on the TV, all of the cameos seemed to be for the adults watching with their kids. It's like, oh shit, it's Dan Aykroyd. Oh shit, it's the SNL guy. I find that interesting.
You, I guess this isn't really a cameo, but a notable person that showed up at the very beginning of the movie is one of the kids that ran through the house.
Yes.
Was Squints from Sandlot.
Yes.
And it took me 10 years to figure that out.
Squints from
I had
Sandlot.
to Google it. I was like, he looks so familiar.
Casting wise, we have some big names as well. Bill Pullman goes without saying.
Yep.
We also have Kat, the actress that plays Kat.
Christina Ricci.
We'll see her next week.
Oh.
Did this come out after
Yes.
next week's movie?
After
Okay.
next week's movie. I don't want to say
Okay.
next week's movie yet, but it came out after next week's movie.
I
She was only
almost said it just now.
she was only 10 years old when she did that movie. A little bit older for this.
Oh wow. Did she have family in acting before? Like, did she
idea.
just? Okay.
I don't know. I really want to. Some like child star documentary just came out, and she was on it,
Oh,
which
nice.
I found really interesting because I feel like she's been really quiet. Like when you think of traumatized child stars, you think of like Demi Lovato and like Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah.
Like you
Hilary
don't think
Duff.
Christina Ricci. So I'm curious to hear what she has to say, but I haven't watched it yet.
Hilary Duff's not traumatized.
No, she did okay.
She did okay.
She made it out all right.
Yeah.
She also in a Casper movie.
You're right. We also have
Maybe that's what it is.
Bill Stein.
Yeah.
Plays a minor character at the beginning. He plays Carrington's lawyer.
Yeah.
Or Kerrigan's lawyer. And then Dibbs is Eric freaking Idle, which is wild to me. Do you know who Eric Idle is?
I know him from
Monty
Python. But that's
His claim
it.
to fame. He's also current friends and touring partners with Jeff Brian Davis,
Oh,
of
nice.
Whose Line Is It Anyway? Comptroller of
nice.
Harmontown.
Oh, is Eric Idle on the Who's Line?
No, but
Oh, okay.
him and Jeff
They're just
they've
friends.
become friends
Oh, okay.
in LA, which I find hilarious and endearing. And Eric Idle did a song on Harmontown once, and now
Oh, that's right.
he did a song right before Harmon Country or before the tour. This is a podcast where we talk about another podcast. We'll move on. But Eric Idle's in it. I love Eric Idle. Monty Python is, of course, legendary. So, my first note was a whole ass Ghostbuster. Like that threw me. Just having a whole Ghostbuster in the movie.
Who are you going to call? Someone else.
Someone else.
Someone else. My first
He had a
note.
mustache too, right? He didn't have a mustache in Ghostbusters, so that I was like, "What is? That's
he's
a weird
clean.
choice."
I
He
think
must have been
he's
doing
clean
another
shaven.
movie or something.
What's your first note?
Kerrigan needs to lay off the cigarettes. Was my first thought. She just sounded like this the
Yeah.
whole movie, but it
This
was the
the
90s,
longest,
so it's okay.
anti-smoking ad I've ever watched.
Yeah,
Yep.
I was just like, my God, this
He's
lady.
very Cruella Deville.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked that we had there's a couple notes I had about kind of the antagonist in the movie. And I like that we have kind of a false flag antagonist in the ghost triplets. And then we have
Yeah.
like Kerrigan, who's a real villain.
They sure, I mean, they were fun. They added to the movie, but like it was not about them at all.
Which at first I'm like, am I about to watch like Luigi's Mansion, the movie? You know what I mean? Like, are we just going to be sucking
I
up
don't
ghosts
know
with
what you mean.
vacuums the whole time? And then no. We have kind of a face turn with the ghost at the end, which is neat. It's a weird premise. So we've got this lady, Kerrigan, or whatever her name is, and her attorney.
She inherits the house.
And yeah, her dad's dead, and Bill Stein's character, Rugg, is going over their estate. And he's like, he basically didn't leave you any money, he left you this mansion. And she's like, only left me this rundown mansion. And Bill Stein's like, it was run down decades ago. Now it's condemned. Wow. Clear eyes for dry eyes. And that's that. And then so she throws, in anger, she throws this folder in the fireplace. And it's got the deed to the house in it. And Eric Idle, the Dibbs, her attorney. We have a lawyer and an attorney in the same scene. It's confusing to me. Diggs is like, the deed's in that, bro. So he goes to pull it out of the fire. That's the one. I don't know if I've seen others. Maybe I'm just like retroactively having a stroke and like assigning Fellowship of the Ring fire scenes. But it seemed familiar to me. That whole fire scene. Like maybe I've caught it on television before and switched over.
People throw books and
They do a similar
papers
thing
in
with
fire.
National Treasure. They have to light it to kind of see it.
That's
kind of a theme.
To that point, though, there's like that whatever. There's the treasure buried in it. I forget what the actual note says, but there's like a note that's revealed by the flame of a treasure that's in the mansion. And so then our mean old Kerrigan is like, oh, now the house is worth something to me because I'm a gold digger. Like I'm only after the money, basically. So then she's like, let's go to this mansion. She goes. It's haunted. They see Casper first, and he's friendly, but then they scream, and that awakes the ghost. The uncles. What are they called? The ghost trio. Stretchy, Fatso, and Stinky.
Yeah.
Which
those guys were cool.
They were cool. But they didn't start out cool.
You know what I immediately did when I heard those names?
What?
I assigned them to us three.
Oh God.
I'm obviously Fatso.
Who's Stretch and who's Stinky?
I think Cameron's Stretchy.
Yeah,
Carl,
Carl, you're Stinky. I'm sorry.
Stinky.
Why are you
I
stinky?
have had some bad farts these last
Okay,
few
but
days.
why?
Well, you're skinny. You're stretchy.
All right.
You're skinny, you're stretchy.
Carl and I probably way
And that was
close
like
to
the leader
same these
guy,
days.
and it's your podcast, so it makes more sense.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I have the like more shrewd personality of the two of us, though. Like if we walked into a
this
bar,
was
I wouldn't be the first one to speak. It'd be
Purely
Carl.
based on the
Well-
names. It was really me going, yeah, I'm fat.
At a bar, I feel like you're confident,
When
man.
you and I are at a bar, it's different because walking into a bar for you is like walking into Kuwait in 1991. Like you have no idea what to do, and it's a hostile environment. For me, though, it's like I've been to these. Like
Yeah.
you're afraid to ask the bartender. For,
Yeah, I feel
we
like
talked
they're
about
gonna-
this on the show before.
They're gonna be mad at me.
Yeah, you
Like,
think that bartenders
dare
are
she.
out to get you.
she's gonna order a drink? Oh my god!
And really, you need to be like, can I have something sweet that's nice? And I'm like, can I have a Fernet Branca and a Pacifico?
And then you get
And,
the
then,
nice.
and then I get the, I want the nod. So that's what I do. Every bar that seems like that I see Fernet Branca on the shelf, I order it because I feel like it'll make the bartenders like me. And I also
Oh.
genuinely like Fernet. But we did that. I did that in Maine. Mm-hmm. You
then
found
they
a
pick
bar.
up the bottle and blow the dust off of it.
Yeah. She found a bar in Maine that was like approximately the width of our walk-in closet. It was delightful. It was the best.
It was really cool.
We had
That's great.
free popcorn. Everybody in there was bummed out. It was awesome.
I really wanted to eat the popcorn, but nobody else was eating the popcorn, so I was like, I can't ask for it. Nobody
It
else.
seemed
is eating.
like in a tourist town, it seemed like a bar for regulars, and that's what I like.
Yeah.
That's what I like. It was a good spot. Haunted Mansion. We have essentially that's the premise, kind more or less, and then it's weird because I feel like this movie, like if our sights move so often, you know what I mean? Like we're focused on Kerrigan, and then we're focused on the mansion, and then we're focused on the
School
ghost
stuff.
trio, and then we're focused on Kat, which is really where our focus should be for the whole movie. She's the pride. The movie's called Casper, but she's, I would wager, the primary protagonist, and Casper would be like the namesake of the movie,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. We also have like there's some language in the movie.
Yeah, that's surprising.
Well, I feel like maybe this is just me, but I think that PG in the 90s, they were more fast
Yeah.
and loose with that rating. Is that fair to
There's
say?
like a weighted rating, yeah.
Like
Because
Indiana
throughout this whole movie, I was
Jones
like, who is this for?
right? and there are
Indiana
movies,
Jones is PG?
yeah. Raiders
That's
of the
wild.
Lost Ark, and I'm pretty sure Temple of Doom as well are PG movies. You watch people's faces melt off in Raiders of the Lost Ark. There's Nazis everywhere and punching, and it's a PG movie.
a man gets shredded by an airplane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blood like sprays on the windshield, and they're like, let the 10-year-olds watch that. And I did, and I loved
Build's
it.
character.
But, well, there's a character like they're throwing out bitch and asshole and stuff in this movie, and it's groovy, but I'm like, PG.
My kids are watching.
Not that I want it to be PG.
Like, I feel
Not
like you
this
can.
Casper, but yeah. Oh, not me either. I think there's a
Ain't
reason
no
that
way.
we watched this movie in our near 30s
Yeah.
and 30s. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Ghosts are obviously satanic, and
Obviously.
we can't have that.
Yep.
It's
It's only one ghost in this house.
yeah.
The Holy Ghost.
Amen, sister.
Oh my God.
Paul, he's laughing for a good reason, but this was our lives.
This was our lives.
Man, Carl, I wish you were
Carl, we wish you were more
traumatized.
fundamentalist.
Yeah.
We weren't even that fundamental. Like Nick was
we weren't.
flag
Nick had-
waving
yeah.
and
Nick
slaying
had
in the
our
spirit and
That's right.
speaking in
Well-
tongues and all that groovy stuff. Were you slaying in the spirit or no?
He
Nick
probably
was
didn't.
confused as to why it wasn't happening to him, but
Aww.
that's a different podcast. We're talking about Casper.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I did not like how horny Casper was.
Yeah, he was.
Bro.
real.
I don't like Casper at all. I'll get that out of the way. I don't
Let's
like his
go.
design. I don't like
Rant.
the way he looks. I don't like the way he acts. I like don't like any
I love
part of
your
him. in
first
this
movie.
movie.
I
His
missed
design.
Before we move on, speaking of the design, can I just say this was the first feature film where a protagonist, like a mainline character, was fully computer generated. This is the
wild.
first film. Now you can keep shitting
That's
on
impressive,
Casper
I guess.
now.
But like it doesn't look finished. It looks like the first concept for like the Pillsbury Doughboy. It's like, what is this design? He looks like an alien. He looks like a baby. He's a whiny little bitch. I hate him so much. I like
he was
his
the
uncles,
first.
which are definitely not his uncles, are cool. But
We don't know
like,
that. They had the beds. The beds. The first room the cat
there's
goes
no-
in.
That's
She's
true.
like,
Also, so that means Casper's dad was related to the blonde lady. Like it was his house, right?
Yeah, she had to be related somehow.
her dad owned it, but like that doesn't, like houses old and new people buy house old
That's
and
fair.
then die, deed
That's
go
fair.
daughter.
It did seem like
house could old though. Old dead ghost old.
But
Because he was like.
but Casper was raised in that house,
Yeah.
right?
yeah.
But like early 1900s, I think.
yeah, it did seem like it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
Long enough to where
Either
like
way.
the best time in your life could be sledding until you
Sledding.
die.
That's true.
He's such.
I would have called this
Kills
movie.
himself playing.
I
Had
would've
too
been-
much
right.
fun and died.
I was thinking about Rosebud.
I had
and
too much fun and died.
I would have called this movie Casper: Sled Till You're Dead. And I was thinking about it, and I was like, let's see. He died at probably like 10 or 11. What was I doing at 11? What year would have that been? 2006? So I was probably playing Halo 2. If you put Halo 2
Doing
outside.
this with your hair.
Yeah.
3 seconds.
If you put Halo 2 outside in like a Maine woods with birch trees, I'd probably play until I got pneumonia too.
Wait till you got frostbite. Yeah.
Sled was just.
Is
his
that what
Halo
happened? I
2.
know they probably talked about it.
No.
I don't
mean,
realize
They did at length.
No, not
Yeah.
at length. Not at
You
length.
know,
It had to be in
upstairs-
passing.
When she like painted the loft somehow and put all of his toys up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't directly say I died of sledding. He was like,
Right,
it was
I remember-
cold and my dad
got
got
sick.
I got
he
sick
got
and my
sick
dad
and my dad was
sad
worried
Yeah.
or sad or whatever
Yeah.
because he had pneumonia and died.
because he had.
Which
So you
is
have
seen
to
before.
kind
He's
of-
like, I don't remember anything about my life, and then he's like, Oh yeah, these are all my toys. I can tell you everything now. Like, fuck you.
Well, but that happened with Kat when her dad drunkenly
know,
fell off a
kid.
building. Just like, never mind.
That was
And,
insane too. Like, who does that in front of a building? Who puts like that?
Now, what pissed me off about that
Relevant.
scene is earlier in the film we have Casper and Kat try to touch hands and their hands go womp and they pass through each other.
Yes.
But then
Yes.
Kat can like pinky swear motion with her dad and it works. And then he's
Mm-hmm.
like, I remember, I'm not a drunk ghost. I'm a dead guy who died.
Well,
Maybe
Casper
it's
can
a
also
relation
grab
thing,
her at
but
one
yeah.
point.
Yeah,
Like,
He
guess you're
flies
right.
away with
It's
it.
whatever
phys-
the plot demands.
the
Yeah.
physics of this movie
what
don't
are the
make.
rules? What are the rules? Like,
It's like Cars all over again.
you know, the problem with
This is
Casper
It's
worse.
funny you say that.
This is worse
His design
to
reminded
me.
me of the car's eyes, where I just like they're just lifeless eyes. I just hate his design so
Casper,
much.
life is a highway.
Like the food runs through them. But
Yeah.
can they taste it? If they can taste it, why does it just
No.
fall out of them? Why?
It's gotta be
I like
Pirates
that-
of the Caribbean. They can't taste it.
I like
Then
the
why eat
enjoyment
it?
though. A part of the
Who's
enjoyment
also
for the ghost trio for eating was the food falling on the floor because Casper goes to clean it up and they're like, no, don't clean it up yet. Like I like shitting food out on the floor.
It's all-
It's the best bit.
yeah. Who's restocking the fridge too?
I don't know. And why?
Like this is it's a full fridge.
What's with cartoons? This isn't a 90s thing. This surpasses this goes into like the Flintstones there, like the Hanna-Barbera era of cartoons and stuff. So we've got decades and decades and decades of ridiculously high stacks of pancakes.
we do. We
Why are
really
we
do.
handing people 6 pancakes? Have you
Yeah.
tried to eat pancakes? I got a stack of 3 pancakes in Maine, and I ate 1.5 pancakes and was full for 12 hours.
I'll throw down on some pancakes.
Are you eating 6 flapjacks?
Like
big-
full plate size.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
not plate
Cracker
size.
Barrel size pancakes. And they're like 6
I can
of
get
them
through 2
is
maybe.
good for me.
I can do 3.
I'm an 11-year-old girl. I'd like to eat a loaf of bread now. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's fair.
There's a lot of pancakes.
Man, I haven't had a good
She doesn't
pancake
actually eat
in
any
a
of
while.
them,
I haven't had a good pancake because it's the shittiest form of breakfast cake.
Oh, here we
though.
go.
Boo. No. Boo.
The
It's-
official ranking
Boo.
is French
Waffles.
toast, waffles, but Eggo waffles exclusively,
No.
and then a chasm, and then pancakes.
French toast. I don't want French toast.
French toast is elite. It's
I've
elite.
never ordered French toast at
You
a
know why?
restaurant.
Here's-
I hate making it.
Here's why
It's
French
a
toast
mess.
sucks. Here's why you think French toast sucks. People like David. David loves like the Texas toast French toast. He wants it thick, right? Thick with some
Okay.
crunch to it. No, I want like the shittiest Wonder Bread. I like my French toast to be sopping with the batter, and then it's wet and it's good.
Here's the thing. It's
No.
at the bottom of my list, but I'm reserving having an
It's at
opinion
the bottom of my list too.
because growing up, it was always on wheat bread.
No,
And I know that's wrong. I know that's wrong.
White
So I
bread.
don't.
That's
like
the
the
oat milk of
cheapest-
bread.
I don't like it
Yeah.
because I don't like the crust. I don't want the crust.
Oh, you 4 years old? You don't like to crunch?
Yes.
What if you
my
did an
God.
Uncrustables version of it?
Ooh.
But then you have
It's
peanut butter
still,
and jelly.
I would rather have a pancake.
Well, I mean, just like cut it like
The
circular.
answer
I
for
mean.
you is like, yeah, get one of them circle punches and just go,
That's wasteful.
and then we can put like a bib and put you in a
can
high chair
beat
and you
the
can eat
ducks.
your French toast.
I would rather have a pancake or
Pancakes
a
are
waffle.
rubbish.
No, you're wrong.
I also don't like Belgian waffle because it's too much waffle. I want an Eggo. Eggo waffles are good because you put your fork in it, disintegrates under your fork, and you put it in your mouth. It's
Eggo
good.
waffles.
I
Oh.
like the pockets on a waffle. Kind of just
Yeah.
hold your syrup for
Yeah.
you.
Do you remember when they made
best part.
waffles and they would stuff them with like sauce? Like it was like
No.
jelly or not, it was like strawberry or syrup. Like they had like there were like waffles filled with like material like liquid.
remember the
don't know what to
sticks.
call it.
Sounds very early.
Sticks? Or was that
2000s.
French toast? They had the sticks that you dunk. It came with like
Oh,
a
yeah,
shitty
little
plastic-
dippers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Those French toast. That is really good.
But
when
that's
it's like
that-
divided like little strips like that.
floppiness though that those have.
Yeah.
That's what I want out of my French toast.
So yeah, and
that's
really
elite.
sops up the syrup.
oh my god, it's so good.
I mean, I'm not mad about French toast, but
French
it's
toast-
the bottom of the list.
no,
it's the bottom of the
Michael
list.
Jordan of breakfast breads.
No.
So
Let
good.
us know in the comments.
Ugh.
And much like Michael Jordan, it's not appreciated by most people in his time.
Was Michael Jordan not appreciated?
No, he's not now because people are like, "Oh, LeBron's
Oh.
better."
Well,
You know.
yeah, I don't really know, but you don't watch basketball. Listen, you've gotten me into baseball, football,
yes,
NASCAR. I
yes.
can't. There's no more room in my brain for sports. Basketball can just not exist.
I
I don't care.
I don't like it.
It's too much.
I feel like the bubble in 2020 broke the NBA
yeah.
for me at least.
Mm.
I didn't like it. It was the sport that was the hardest to watch without a crowd.
It's so squeaky.
Oh yeah.
It's so squeaky.
Squeak, squeak.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
It's just shoes squeaking. That's it.
And they tried to do like anime, like they did like screens and try to do like production for it, and it was just. Now baseball arguably was cringier. This is a great podcast. Baseball was cringier because they piped in crowd noise, but then put cardboard cutouts of fans
That was
in
good,
the
though.
stands.
That's so funny.
It was good, and it was great because like there was this. I think it was the Korean or Japanese baseball league, one of the two. Probably the Koreans. I think they started playing baseball first, like before we did, because they were not filled with dumb rednecks who wouldn't stay in their house,
What do you
and so they stopped the
mean?
spread of COVID and were able to play sports. They had like teddy bear, like giant stuffed teddy bears in the outfield, and one got like
like that.
cranked by a home run, and it was on Sports Center for 100 years. It was awesome.
Can we talk about an
gosh.
insane part of the movie?
Yeah, let's talk about the movie.
Which part is that?
The last 40 minutes.
Enlighten
No,
us.
no.
The part where all the people start dying.
No, not yet. We're not there yet. So, Christina Cat.
Manslaughter?
Don't take it personal.
No. Cat is going to bed. It is nighttime, and her father lovingly kisses her on the forehead and says good night.
Is this where the ghost like
Bucket.
Yeah.
Bucket?
Yeah.
What kind of a nickname is Bucket?
Twice it happens.
Bucket.
When he turns back to
Her
a human
name's
from a ghost, he calls her Bucket as well.
Did they explain it? I don't
No.
remember them explaining. Okay.
No,
Nope.
her nickname is
That's a nickname for my daughter, Bucket.
Bucket.
She had a brother, Sponge, but he passed away. Like
Oh
what the?
god.
Trash bin.
Yeah, it's rubbish. Broom. Bucket.
Bucket.
I don't know. Dustpan.
Yeah.
Come here, Rug.
Yeah, well, Rug is the name of a character in here. Ben Bill
Anyways.
Steins. Rug,
Oh,
Rug.
the
He's-
lawyer
He's
dude.
Rug, but with two G's.
We
doesn't say
barely see him. Anyways,
Bucket.
Bucket.
Bucket is off the rails. You're right
What?
about that. And then we have like
Not sweetheart, honey, darling.
it is.
bucket.
To Carl's point, though, Casper's kind of creepy.
He's super creepy.
I mean,
He's like hovering over her bed, going, "I wish I was in the bed. I wish I was a person." It's the
Can I
At one
keep
point, he's
you?
literally like, "There's a girl in my bed, nice," and it's like, "Dude, you're like 13. Like, what are you doing?
Well,
Like, what's this joke
speaking-
for?"
He's probably been in puberty for 100 years, as far as we know.
that's
But
a
not
good
able to
point.
move on. That would suck.
Yeah, but
Just
Well,
stuck
yeah.
in puberty forever.
That's the
I don't
big
know. I don't think
question I
somebody
have.
with puberty sleds to death. I think that's who doesn't.
Talking about though,
That's
the
true. And maybe in like 1910 they did.
maybe.
There's nothing
I mean,
else
your life
to do.
expectancy was what, 18 years old
Yeah.
back then. So,
Yeah.
speaking of the writing being a bit loose, there's a theme with the ghosts, right? Ghosts are around because they have unfinished business in our realm still, so they can't like move on to the afterlife. What's Casper's?
I
Or
don't.
the
I
uncles, for
tried
that
to Google
matter.
it.
I tried to Google it too.
Couldn't find an answer.
Wait, didn't he just denied going so he could keep his dad company or something?
But like
Wasn't that
once his dad's
sort of the-
gone,
Then what's the bloody
There was
point?
that line where he was
Right.
like, something went wrong. Like I was supposed to go
Okay.
and I went the wrong way or something.
Because it's a point that like Kerrigan, for example, she drives off a cliff, falls to her death,
Dude.
and we're like, what the hell is happening?
I laughed harder than
yeah.
I've ever laughed in my entire life when she opened the door and just fell. It was- I did not expect it.
Danielle looked at me with her jaw on the floor, like,
I
what
was just like, what?
is going on? And I'm like, I don't know, man. This movie's
She
crazy.
comes back in her full business suit.
As
like,
a ghost,
Why
though.
do? Yeah.
And she's like,
Yeah,
her
but the other
face,
ghosts don't have clothes.
right, and her face is like
Ooh.
weird.
Dad has a jacket.
Yeah, the dad has a jacket. But you can't have like ghost knockers flopping around, right? Like you need clothes on the
They
lady
could just
ghost.
be bumps without any like nips.
They could be smooth,
They could
but
be
they
smooth.
chose clothing, and that makes
Yeah.
me think: why did they choose clothing? Maybe they were afraid of ghost knockers.
Ghost
I mean, I
anatomy.
guess
Or
so.
maybe it was to help show us who the ghost was instead of just being another random ghost.
Maybe, but she like so she
Oh, that
gets
voice is pretty identifiable.
That's true.
she gets the treasure and the serum, right? Mm-hmm. And they point that out, and she's like, "This is all I've wanted," and transitions. She goes
Yeah.
away. Here's the point I'm trying to make. You said that Casper had like something go wrong or didn't want to cross over or whatever, and she's like, "No, I have unfinished business still. Don't make me like whatever." Like she
it's
tries
true.
to stay and she gets sucked out.
So it's not a choice.
So it can't be voluntary. So that's the overwhelming question that I have with the Casper lore is why is he there? If it was to like be with his dad's been dead for who knows how long. Why is he still there?
Maybe he killed his dad.
That's
So he
I don't know how that's
Outrageous.
unfinished.
forgiveness. But like, I feel like he potentially could have like learned a lesson by giving up the serum for her dad instead of himself, and then like gone to the light. Like that's a much more kids movie resolved ending.
and then we have
But he doesn't transcend in the
but-
end, does he?
You can't
No,
kill
he doesn't.
Casper.
Yeah. So he's still there.
You're not killing him. You're sending him to heaven where he can be an
An
angel.
angel.
We have like two other movies too, but they're both
They're both
indirect prequels.
So like, why keep him? Why didn't he go?
And there was supposed to be a sequel. So the indirect prequels were, I believe, direct to video. And then the studio was like, well, those didn't perform well, so we won't make Casper 2. It's like, yeah, you put them right on VHS and they were dog shit. Of course not.
It also really bothered me that there's this whole machine with the serum and it's supposed to bring a ghost back to life.
Yeah, because his dad was Da Vinci, apparently.
It's what the whole like last half of the movie like hinges on. His dad didn't figure it out when he was alive. When his dad was alive. What changed? Like they didn't
What?
fix the machine.
And did the dad know that Casper was a ghost, though? Is that why?
Yeah,
is
yeah.
that- okay,
That's
that's
why he
who
built
he
the
was trying to.
machine.
He was trying to bring Casper back
So
to
why
life.
didn't he put him?
Maybe
in?
he
Oh, yeah.
died before he could get it
Ooh.
finished because
But they didn't
Like
do
Edward
anything.
Scissorhands.
or because they make a point to say like the serum. Oh, this is the last bit of it. Is like what Casper says when he has it. Like it's the only one left or whatever. So I wonder if the machine like had to be tweaked multiple times. Like it didn't work. Maybe it was one of those like I've got it, dead.
I guess. Fixed it dead.
And then maybe that's why Casper's friendly.
Maybe that's how he
He's
died.
been trying to lure people in.
Trying to figure out why this man died.
Yeah.
Is where I'm at.
Speaking of which, yeah, at some point to like get that family there, he like travels through telephone wires and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, what are the powers here? Like,
What are the rules?
What is
What are
this?
the rules?
Yeah, what are the rules?
Because
Is it just plot.
at the end of the movie, right? There's the Halloween parties going on. So the what are the rules point. Then the movie turns into Cinderella, and we have an angel that's the dead mom wife who's not a ghost but's an angel.
literally
And then she's
Cinderella,
like,
yeah.
actually, all the rules from the whole movie, abracadabra, they don't matter anymore. And you get to be human and whatever. But once the clock strikes 10 p.m., you're a ghost again.
Not midnight.
It's fast and loose.
It's fast.
I also,
fast and
the
loose.
whole time, for some reason, I thought that Jonathan Taylor Thomas was voicing Casper. So when he didn't walk down the stairs, I was like, what the fuck is going on?
However, the kid is not the kid that voiced him. It's two different actors.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know who the kid was or who it was going to be. And for a second, I was like, oh my gosh, if this is Ryan Gosling, I'm going to lose my mind.
That would be amazing.
Why the hell did you go to Ryan Gosling?
I don't know. Whenever he's walking down the stairs, here's why I went
Oh,
there.
it's the haircut.
It was the
'Cause
haircut.
I made a DiCaprio joke.
Nice. Also close. Well, and also
90s
earlier
hair.
in the movie, I was thinking about Ghostbusters.
Right.
Not Ghostbusters.
Okay.
Goosebumps.
Oh.
Similar name.
Oh.
I was like, this kind of got a Goosebumps vibe.
I've
And
only
I was
ever
thinking about him
I
being in it when he was
read a
younger.
Goosebumps book. I never watched any of this
The
stuff.
show is hysterical.
I bet. My brother was into Goosebumps, the books when we were kids. He would borrow them from the library. He was into Goosebumps, The Hunger Games. Those are the two things I remember him being into. And I remember I read something like 52 pages of the first Hunger Games and went, this writing is dog shit. And I put it down. And I never
Such
picked it
a
back up.
hater.
This will make a better movie.
And you know who validates me on that?
Who?
David.
Okay.
He said that. Now, however, he likes. Here's
We
what I remember.
disagree with David a lot.
Yeah, but we agree on a few things, and that makes them the most true. Just how it works.
Fair.
The
That's
first
real.
book David liked, and then I think what David has said, because I didn't read the other two because I couldn't be bothered. I just felt like they were. I'm gonna toot my own horn.
They're too dumb for me. I'm so smart. I'm Cameron.
It's so simplistic. It was just garbage. And then David says that the next two books, it's like the author like shows 3 different writing styles. He's like, they don't read the same. Was the point he made? And I'm like, I'll never know because I'm not reading that shit.
Well, when I read them at that age, I loved them. So
Well,
whatever. Everyone else can get wrecked. And so did like millions of other people.
yeah, millions of people followed Hitler. It's not a good gauge for morality
Sure it is.
or intelligence.
Sure.
Half the country votes for Orange Hill. The average IQ is 100. Most people are idiots. And Hunger Games is dumb. It's dumb. It's also a ripoff of a Japanese movie from the 90s or 80s.
Everything's a ripoff of something
Nothing's
else.
real. Nothing's
Everything's
original.
fake. What is media?
I don't know. Why am I getting a Slack at 9:04?
A Slack?
Ooh.
I thought Nick was going to say something
well,
there.
I'm
and
just
then
going
he
through my
just
notes, and
continued
it's
to
just-
pause.
Oh,
It's
I
just
got
a bunch of
I
this
got-
is off the rails. The dad's dead. What the heck? The mom's back.
I got one at
insanity.
the beginning of the movie. I don't remember the context, but I think it's one of the two, maybe the first 2 characters that go in the house, the kids. That take the picture, maybe not. Someone says, "This really bites."
Bring
That's
that back.
Pretty 90s.
Very nice. No one has said that in 30 years. This
Bring it back.
because we say it sucks, which is better.
I wasn't
bites,
allowed to
man.
say that.
Mosquitoes
So-
do both.
Bites.
They
We're not
bite
allowed to
and
say
they suck.
bites.
My parents
No,
didn't like
sucks.
jerk.
Sucks.
They didn't like jerk?
Yeah.
My parents didn't like idiot. I don't think.
Yeah.
Well,
And
that
I
was
was like,
pretty harsh.
well, don't be an idiot.
My parents
I
didn't like
yelled.
freaking.
No freaking.
Oh,
like
I
they
yelled
like
freaking was-
shit
yeah.
one time because I was combining "shut up, idiot," and I was
Ugh.
like, "Shit," and then they were like, "What?" I was like, "Oh God!"
You stumbled into a real.
Conjugating. I'm conjugating. It's like, I was saving time.
Oh God.
I forget
How
what
about
it
the
was.
3 ghosts straight up gonna murk the dad so
I
they
liked,
can join him
I
for eternity?
liked that scene. That
That's
was my
so unhinged.
favorite scene from the movie. I think one of them is when the dad's in the bar singing, whatever he's singing.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't remember either Queen or something.
I
No,
guess
Elvis.
ghosts can get drunk.
Singing Elvis. Yeah, so he's drinking and he's like, "You guys remind me of hanging out with the boys," and that seemingly is all the ghost trio wanted. because that's when they do their face turn, because they're talking about we're gonna kill this guy, right? And they've got like a shotgun and a sword or whatever. And they're hiding behind their ghost backs, and it's
so
very
crazy.
humorous. But then the dad has that whole monologue about how like you guys are my boys now. We're gonna drink the town dry, and they have a cut. So where it goes back to the ghost, and they're like, we can't kill him now. He's cool, like we like him, and that's when the dad falls to his death.
Yeah,
So-
Cameron goes, they're not going to kill the dad. And I was like, no.
There's no
and
way.
then he
They're
just
not.
fell in a hole and was dead. It was
Yeah.
insane.
And then what the funniest part about that is then he's a drunk ghost, which is crazy. It's like in this movie, how you are when you die is how you become a ghost. Like it's how you stay as a ghost.
It's like a snapshot. Yeah.
Huh.
So maybe all the other
That
ghosts
logic
died
doesn't make
naked.
sense though. If they didn't like him and they kill him, then he's with them forever anyway.
Right, but
Like-
I think they did the face turn because he liked him. So it's like, well, now we feel bad because he actually
Yeah.
likes us and we like him as well. So now
And he's
just
gonna let
our-
us stay.
Yeah, they said that.
So
he
did
can
that
want
clear
or he
up?
said
That
they
wasn't
can
their
want
unfinished business either, though.
We'll never
No,
know.
we don't. That's the thing.
So-
That's what's driving me crazy. is
Need more
we-
backstory.
we
Let's
made
do
it
2
on-
prequels.
Because it's the question you cannot help but ask yourself if you're not a child that's just like ghost
Yeah.
movie, good, fun time. Is
When you're-
what's everybody's
Yeah,
unfinished
we
business?
need Casper Covenant to know what really happened at the beginning.
I can imagine though, as
Prometheus.
if I were a kid watching this movie, the stakes would have felt so high
so
the
high.
entire time.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're not thinking about that.
I mean, I
You just
am,
want
'cause I'm
Casper
30.
and well, yeah, you are now,
right.
but as a kid, you just want Casper and what's her name to be happy.
Had anyone seen this before?
No.
Daniel, you had
I
seen
had, but it had been a long
Okay,
time.
so you've seen it probably 30 years
Yeah,
ago.
The
I forgot
three-
most of it. With them trying to kill him, I was like, oh god, I forgot about this. This is insane. Like,
The 3 uncles felt really familiar to me. I don't know if I'd seen like parts of this movie growing up or like an old cartoon or something.
Well, and
I think there was an
and-
animated series. Yeah.
Well, there's the old cartoon
With the
from
same exact
40s,
voice actor.
and
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
another animated series, and I think it's Fatso is voiced by Raymond's brother from Everybody Loves Raymond.
Brad
Isn't he
Garrett.
the big beetle
Right
in A
there.
Bug's Life?
I think so.
Yeah.
Iconic deep voice.
Yeah.
Does it hold up?
It felt very distinctly 90s. Like,
It's a time capsule.
yeah.
But it did make me have pain, like a lot of 90s stuff does. You know
No,
what I mean?
it wasn't painful.
Like some 90s stuff, you're like, God, I cannot believe this. and
I don't know. It's,
So maybe it holds up, but it's not very good.
because okay, one of the reasons that we watched this is I saw someone on Threads go like, I just watched Casper, and it's a good movie, and I was like, oh, let's watch that instead of Monster House. I don't know if it is.
it's
I don't think it's-
aggressively fine.
I don't think it's bad.
I think Carl said it right. I think it is a time capsule to the 90s.
Yeah, But-
and it might be good for the 90s.
but it had a lot of bad. Here's the thing.
We've watched a lot of 90s movies that are better, though.
I read some reviews from the period from 95. All of the critiques, not all. Let's not use only a Sith deals in absolutes. A lot of the critiques were about how dark it was, and I'm like, that's what made it like fine,
Mildly interesting.
I liked
Yeah.
those because it was surprising and like a, you know what I mean? Like, you
Yeah.
just killed a lady. It was cool.
It still
And
didn't feel
child
like
death. Yeah.
dark.
But like, you know, it's not as dark as Danielle and I went on a rabbit hole because Spielberg produced
Oh
this,
my
and then
God.
he produced other movies that he made around this time were like Fievel's American Adventure and Fievel
Oh,
Goes
wow,
West.
yeah.
Those
were
are
messed up.
dark, and like All Dogs Go to Heaven with Burt Reynolds.
that was also.
That
yeah.
is a jacked up,
Yeah.
dark ass movie. So compared to like stuff that I was watching in the 90s and early 2000s, this movie was a freaking walk in the park as far as dark subject matter. Like Fievel Goes West, that movie, if I think about it now, I get bummed out.
It's a bummer. I mean, he gets separated from his family several times, sold into slavery, he almost drowned.
We should do
almost
a
gets
bummed out
burned.
cartoon
It's bad.
I don't want to watch.
I don't need to be bummed out for a month, Carl.
I'm talking about how awful that is right now.
Yeah.
Like All
Let's
Dogs
do it
Go to
during
Heaven
the
is a
seasonal depression time.
I didn't watch All Dogs Go to Heaven until like I was babysitting children because I liked cats as a child and I was mad that all the dogs went to heaven and the cats didn't go to heaven.
well, cats are bastards though.
So, well, but I liked them.
confirm.
Meow meow meow.
Yeah, but they like no dog has ever deliberately swiped a cup off a counter. broken.
You're right. Well, Elfie deliberately pulled a bag off the counter.
That's separation anxiety, though, not the heart of evil.
Not despite.
Yeah.
Fair.
I will say though, I watched a couple reviews and it seemed like the original like 50s version of Casper, they never talk about him being a human child alive.
don't.
It's like they never bring up that he died or is he. I think at one point they had he had a mom and dad ghost, so he was just born a ghost.
He was born a ghost.
So they were really not happy about this portrayal and tried to get it pulled from theaters and stuff like that. And I was just like, jeez, it's crazy.
It's a bit
Well,
rough.
like you say that, but like whenever she was like, "Do you remember your life?" or whatever, that was the first time I went, "Oh yeah, he was like a human."
but not in the source material
hadn't-
is the thing.
Yeah,
It wasn't.
I'm just saying I hadn't even really considered that
Okay.
until that point.
I thought
Like,
making him
ghosts are just there. You
I
know?
thought making him a person at the end was a bit of a choice. I don't know if I
I mean, this is like Jump the Shark, the movie. Like each thing is just like this too.
Sure.
Like
Well,
now
but
there's a basement laboratory where we can bring spirits to life. Like
I feel like
there's
in a
buried
lot of
treasure.
movies-
Like,
With a toothbrush machine.
I feel like in a lot of movies,
Shaving cream.
his
Very
dad's an
flubber.
inventor, but he's just an inventor of Rube Goldberg machines
Yeah.
for like getting ready.
Yeah.
I feel like this movie, though, the him becoming a human at the end, in a lot of other films that I've seen and that you would make or write, I think, would be the character growth comes from, oh, I'm gonna let her dad be human again. I'm not gonna take the thing,
Yeah.
and that's the like closure. And then he looks and like the dad and daughter dance, and Casper's up floating in the ceiling, and he's like smiling, and then credits. This though, they do the like they make it too happy with the whole.
wanna
and
have
he's
our
a
cake and eat it
human,
too.
and, like they have the
Yeah.
cake and eat it too, and it's dumb. You, Mr. Sappy over here, gave me a face. What's your retort?
No, I didn't even think that Casper giving up his spot in the machine was like a good moment. Like he was
Oh.
bummed out about it.
Yeah, but he still did
He's
it.
like, well, this is just how it has to go. Like he literally shrugged his shoulders, his little ghost shoulders.
Yeah, but it's
Like,
sad.
this is how it's got to go. I don't know.
So you're with Carl, and Casper's a bastard man.
He's a little creepy.
I mean,
he
I don't
just
think
he needs a different face. I think
He's
Like,
very-
It just looks.
It's
just
not
very-
his
I mean, he's
fault.
Selfish.
It was the
It's just a-
90s.
I don't know.
If he
it's
looks
just-
like
I
Mark
don't like his
Wahlberg,
design.
we'd like him.
I mean, he
There
did
was a
it-
Marky Mark reference at one
There
point.
was.
I forget what it is, but I remember hearing it. He literally lured them into the house, like with the TV, and like got her in. Like she's in my house now. Like this is real. Like
I didn't know.
I
he
can't
was
even believe he pulled that off.
creepy.
luring
It's crazy.
her, though.
he wanted that girl in his house, and he
Not
did it.
true. Not true.
He had a crush on her when he saw her on the TV, and then he got in the phone lines and jumped over to the lady. And
What did he hear first, though? The ghost therapist. That's why he went in the phone, is to get the ghost therapist over, so that he could cross
I
over.
don't know. I think it was he saw her on the TV.
I watched the movie twice. It's the ghost therapist. That's why he wheels the TV over to the lady that owns the house that he scared earlier.
Why
to
would-
get the ghost therapist over?
But why would he
If he
want
can
the ghost therapist there?
Maybe because he hasn't crossed her and he doesn't know why.
Oh.
It's like
He
a
just
problem
wants somebody
for
to talk to.
That's a problem for every ghost. Yeah, and he's bummed out because everybody gets scared in the house because of his three uncles. He's lonely.
But why does he need them to get to the house if he can just go through telephone? wire?
That's
Couldn't
the
he just go
real
to them?
question
Yeah.
that we're not asking is why
That's
doesn't
true.
why isn't this Casper goes to New York? Like if he can go anywhere, why
Especially
not?
if he doesn't remember his past.
Why does he have to use telephone
He has
poles?
no
He can
connection.
go through walls.
Yeah, why does he? He's a fallen from.
Everybody-
The thing where we think too hard about a movie.
Everybody was going to New York in the 90s. Like, Home Alone was going to New York. Mary Kate and Ashley were going to New York. Eloise was in New York. It was a very hot time.
Can I say something controversial?
Emily
about
was
Home
in
Alone?
Paris.
Sure.
Home Alone
Are you gonna
underwhelmed
say-
me.
Oh.
I didn't watch it until I was 27 years old.
appropriately whelmed.
I expected like a master. I expected like Raiders of the Lost Ark or something, or Star Wars. You know what I mean? Like a big like, oh, this is a cultural like Sandlot was. I was whelmed for Sandlot. It was a good movie, but
Opposite for me.
Like-
I loved Sandlot so much.
but again, I didn't watch that until I was on a church bus at 17 or whatever.
That's
Like,
one
it's
of the
just-
few movies I actually did watch growing up. 1,000 times.
The other movie like that wasn't as good. Like Caddyshack was weird for me, but that's a generational problem.
Yeah.
And Anchorman, I was like, okay, Anchorman's fine, but it's not like amazing. So I don't know. What were we talking about? Home Alone. Yeah, I don't know. I expected Christmas Story level of like this is a seminal movie for me. Nope.
Well, you didn't watch it at a seminal age, so
I know.
mean, you could have maybe you
That
would.
begs the question, though. That's the Dan Harmon point with Goonies. He says Goonies isn't a good movie. You all just have nostalgia about Goonies. Like he's talking about his generation, like Gen X. He's like, it's not a good movie. It's a shitty movie. Watch it again. I feel like that's the case with so many of these films, like Casper. Like if I had watched Casper as a kid, it might be like A Bug's Life for me, which I maintain holds up. But do I maintain that it holds up because I saw it at 3 years old?
No,
And how do you prove either way?
I don't think you can. I don't think it's. I don't think on a level it's possible to objectively look at a movie. It isn't because we have human nature, and even movie critics are all liars. But it's just it is what it is. And like every critic that Carl and I read shit on this movie, and Roger Ebert gave it a 3 out of 4.
He gave this a 3 out of 4.
He gave this a 3 out of 4. He thought the technology was amazing for its time, and he thought the story was good. And I just it's fine. What?
So we've had a discussion
What is
before. That's me raising my hand like a moose. So Shrek, right?
Oh boy.
Yes, the greatest movie ever made.
We got in it. We've been in arguments before that Shrek isn't going to hold up because of the pop culture references.
That's not
aging.
why though. Shrek is.
But
funny.
I'm just saying, do you think the pop culture references in Casper like weigh against it because we don't get a lot of them?
I don't think so because all the pop culture references largely were the cameos that we weren't supposed to understand as kids anyway.
Okay. I just wanted
No,
to
that's a good
ask.
point.
That was in there for the parents. That's in there for the parents to go, it's Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah.
It's cool. No, I think it's just it's fine. It's fine. It's a fine movie.
It's fine. I just
I
wanted
just
to
think
ask. I thought about it.
I'm trying to think of what other kid movies of this era I would be like incredible. Like as far as live action goes. But the problem I think with that would be when I was a kid, I was born in 95. So I was more of the Pixar Disney.
Yeah,
I was about to say,
you're
my
watching movies,
like
2000s.
live action kids movies were more early 2000s.
Yep.
Princess Diaries.
Yep.
You know, Aquamarine.
I don't even
Ella
know what the hell
Enchanted.
those are.
Oh my God.
I was a weird
So
one. I
good.
went right from Toy Story to Star Wars though. And then that was everything. I just watched Star Wars over and over. Pirates, Lord of the Rings.
Or Disney. There was a lot of good 90s Disney Channel movies too. Like,
I wasn't a Disney Channel.
I know, but they were
Like the
so
Hey Arnold movie. I was about that.
I went from Toy
hey,
Story to
Arnold.
Star Wars as well. There was just a 20-year
You were
gap.
just 29 years old.
Oh my God, Babe. Did you watch Babe?
Oh yeah.
I did, but I
That'll
didn't.
do,
I
Pig.
remember not liking Babe because I thought the animated Charlotte's Web was better. Like if I'm gonna watch a Pigs movie,
Agree.
I want to watch Templeton.
Homeward Bound.
Nope, didn't watch that.
That's another kind of sad movie too.
It is. I couldn't do it now because I would just think about Phoebe and I'd get really sad.
The Recess
yeah.
movie. I like the Recess movie.
Oh, I did.
Oh
watch
my
that.
God, that's a great movie.
Recess
I
movie was
love that
good.
show. Oh,
Anyways.
God, he's trying to get rid of summer vacation, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
You can't do that.
I went right from. I mean,
Parent Trap.
I didn't watch
Parent
that.
Trap
Oh.
was
Parent
good.
Trap holds up.
I just watched a little bit of that like
It's so
a month
good.
ago. It was
know
just
the-
on.
you know
They're
the other movie
making no, they're not. They're making another Freaky Friday.
They are
Yes,
making
they
that.
are.
Yeah, so
Lindsay
that-
Lohan, a freakier Friday, if you can imagine.
Freakiest
They're-
Friday
what
is
else?
coming.
What
in
else?
Oh,
Is
freaky.
now? Help!
Princess Diaries 3.
Princess Diaries 3.
Huh.
Wow.
Yeah. Anne Hathaway's
wow.
back.
Man,
Oh,
we
Matilda.
are really
Matilda was
scraping the
messed
bottom
up.
of the barrel.
Someone
There's
please have
nothing
an
left.
original idea.
No, it's like
They just don't do well.
It's the Disney argument of like, well, the Lion King live action in air quotes remake made $2 billion. Of course, they're gonna make more of that.
Okay, Princess Diaries. There are 3 Princess Diaries books though,
Okay,
so there was already an established trio
but it's like we're
trilogy,
having-
if you will.
All
having
three
a-
of those were done before the
No,
movies.
no, only
okay.
2. There's only 2 movies, 3 books, unless there's been more.
No,
books.
all three of the books were done before the movies.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
I think so.
But we're having another nostalgia wave, and I just don't know when we're going to be out of it. And we were hampered by COVID. There were no writers, so it was just studios making bullshit. And the bullshit they're going to make is what
Any kind of comfort
established
thing.
IPs can we milk? What video
Yeah.
games can we turn into movies? Like blah blah blah. Some of it's good. Some of it's
Or movies
the
you
Halo
can turn
series.
into TV shows.
Yeah,
Anyways, should we
really
do?
like the
Harry
Fallout
Potter
show.
again. Jesus Christ. Yeah, we should do hit or miss.
I'll start.
Okay.
For the first time in a long time, it's a miss.
Yeah.
Ooh, a full miss.
It's a miss.
Interesting.
I don't know. That's what we were just talking about earlier. I don't know if it's watching it at 31 or if it sucked then, but I didn't have a good time.
I can be a little more positive.
Yeah.
didn't hate it when I watched it. Like when we finished it last night, after I had a bowl of ice cream and then a milkshake.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I had a
And then
bowl
one
of,
Oreo.
I had a bowl of ice cream, and I was like, you know what I want is a strawberry milkshake, so I went and got one.
No regrets.
Crazy.
I just like I enjoyed it ish. It felt like a kids movie. Like it felt very overtly shallow in the way that kids movies do. Like there's nothing, you know. This movie doesn't make you think. It just makes you confused about what the rules are, which is a knock. I liked some things. Like I liked that Kerrigan was defeated by the realization that she didn't have any unfinished business. I thought that was an interesting way to dispel an antagonist. I liked the face turn at the end by the ghostly trio. You know, they thwart Amber's prank like some boys, and they scare everybody else out, which is cool. They like it went on like you start the movie thinking, oh, we're gonna have like 3 Italian mob boss like ghost villains that are gonna you know haunt, like it's gonna be Haunted Mansion, and it turns out they're just like a bunch of silly billies farting around. They just want a friend, and then they get one, and they're fine. They're chilling. I thought that was all fine, but yeah, I don't know what the rules are. I just there were a lot of characters. It just wasn't great. I think audience scores and whatnot, and critic scores in the mid 50%, and that's what I would give it. So it's a mid, but like a low end mid. If I'm giving it a letter grade, it's getting like a D plus. Like it's not a good movie. I resent that person on Threads that says that Casper holds up and it's actually a good movie with a solid script, because that person's an idiot and they're blinded by nostalgia. But I don't think it's bad. I just think it's like
rage bait.
It's like it's whatever. It's fine. Casper's fine. Would I ever watch it again? I mean, I watched it again today while I was making chili, but like, no, like I have no reason to ever watch this again. And no reason to ever look up the sequel. I would be more interested in watching the cartoon from the 40s than ever watching this movie again.
Yeah.
Mid. Danielle, I want to end on Carl. I feel like it'll be funny.
Okay.
Because he's really he has vitriolic hatred for Casper.
I like it. No, I'm gonna go mid as well. I mean, I didn't hate it. It's not a great movie, but like you, I liked how they resolved a lot of the things. I was kind of like, okay. Christina Ricci's eyebrow acting was on point. Very dramatic. Very much actress. You know,
Much actress. Wow.
I couldn't think of another adjective to
I can have
continue the
cheeseburger.
demure cutesy thing. But yeah, no, I'm gonna go mid,
Mid. Carl.
low mid.
Land our plane.
I think overall, I enjoyed the movie enough. Like it, you know, was funny enough. It was fine. It was short. It was brief. Whatever. I liked aspects of it. I liked the Uncle Ghost. I don't get to give many low scores.
Yeah.
So I'm really relishing this. So I think I would have given it a mid, but I think I just dislike Casper as a character so much that I'm going to give it a miss.
That's funny. I didn't
Like,
have a real
yeah.
strong reaction to Casper.
Something
It's-
about him he's just whiny and like he's not, I don't know, something about, I think it's just the way he just looks like this weird half concept, like it doesn't look done. Something about it's just not right. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I know that's like, you know, living impaired, partial or whatever, but
Living impaired is crazy.
Impaired.
It was wild. Like we literally one of our main protagonists is a snake oil salesman. It's wild movie. Yeah. So there you go.
it's a weird movie.
2 mids, 2 misses. This movie gets a thumbs down collectively, probably as a
down.
show. Like, don't watch Casper.
No, watch something else.
Watch anything else.
Hocus Pocus holds up better than this.
I don't know. Hocus
Oh,
Pocus.
Should-
100%.
It's bad though. It's a bad
Should
movie.
you show it to
No.
kids still?
Casper?
Like if you have a kid, should you show him Casper?
Of all of the other,
Should
works
David
stuff on
show little
TikTok.
David Casper?
I don't care what he does.
Eh.
I just don't care.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I would never recommend it. So if that's the conversation, if David's like,
I would say maybe show your kid. It might be better for a kid.
I don't know. Like all the references are lost. Like not that makes it a bad movie, but I just don't know. It's a mess. Show your kid better cinema. For God's sakes. Yuck.
Do we have any hot
Yeah.
points?
Do we have hot points?
No.
Nope.
Zero.
No, points.
Not
No
really.
hot people.
Nobody's hot.
No hot people. Really, no hot people actually. Yeah.
Really no hot people, no.
No hot people. Bill Pullman's not bad looking.
He looks like a
Did you-
looks
He
like
makes
a
a better
kind
president.
dad.
Bill, it's funny you say that. There was a couple lines, especially towards the beginning, for some reason, when they're in the car driving to the house. He had a very Donald Trump accent. Just the way his inflection on a couple words, I was like, it's pretty good Trump without being a Trump.
Didn't pick it up. Must not be real.
Dang, yeah, I'm probably just crazy.
You do only have one ear.
Are you sandwich crazy?
Sandwich crazy.
What is he? Sandwich crazy?
Wow, what a callback.
That is my predominant memory of Fast and the Furious is the sandwich crazy line. Everything about that movie is the first 3 minutes of that movie for me. The end of that movie sucks, right? Fast and the Furious, like just thousands of rounds fired into innocent people's homes, and then a weird car chase. And
I don't even remember
yeah.
the end. I don't even remember.
Nobody remembers the
They,
end.
like,
It's a
race off or
memorable
something.
end. I feel like the thing that everybody points to for Fast and the Furious is like the first street racing scene in the first 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure is cool when you're 9. I want to watch more of them though, because apparently like Dwayne the Rock Johnson stomps a parking garage to the ground. Gotta watch that.
Yeah.
They turn into superhero movies apparently.
Huh.
But am I gonna watch 9 movies to get there? No. No, I'm not. I'll never know. 20 questions
Yeah.
is a game we play, and then we'll announce our movie for next week, which I believe is actual Halloween-ish, right?
Yeah. It'll come out on
It'll
actual
come out
Halloween.
on or near
Near
Halloween.
Halloween.
Close enough.
Yeah. 2 days before, if you will.
Who picks?
Carl.
Carl's questions. Let me pull up
All
my.
right.
Was it this year or last year that we watched
It was last year.
Last year.
All right, let me find. Was it Smokey? Was the first one this year, right?
Yeah.
Where the hell? Oh, there it is.
Was it a comedy?
No.
Before or after 1990?
After.
After 90.
That's 3.
After 90. What did you ask before that, Nick?
Is it a comedy?
Okay, and he said no.
I said no. Is it a sports movie?
No, not really.
No, not really.
Was it a hit? Like, did we
Did
we all like it?
I think it was divisive,
Ooh, divisive.
Divisive.
and I think that's 5
movie.
questions.
Is it a part of a trilogy? Or multi
It
Does
is
it
part of
have
a franchise.
sequels?
yeah,
It's part of a
Yeah.
franchise. It is.
franchise?
Is it National Treasure?
No.
Damn it.
How would that be a sports movie?
Oh, he said sports movie. That's
Well, he said
It's
it's
not a
he said
sports
he
movie.
said kind
Yeah.
of,
Kind
Yeah.
of.
which I don't know what kind of
Yeah, well,
means.
that means there's maybe a little.
If you said
sports
we're
in
watching
it.
a sports movie and then played it, it'd be like, well, okay, I guess. Maybe.
That's really throwing me off.
I have no idea what that means.
We gotta come up with more questions.
Does it
I'll say
involve?
no then. It's not a sports movie.
Does it involve superheroes?
No.
If it's not I mean, is it Moneyball?
Nope.
Okay. Because like, it's a sports movie, but it's also about like budgets, you know, and scouting.
How many questions are we at?
That's 8, I think.
It's not a sports movie. Does it involve cars?
Yeah.
Is it Fast and Furious?
I swear to God, I
How
picked
annoying
it before
is
the
that?
show, and as soon as you guys started, I was like, "Do I need to change real quick?" And I was like, maybe by talking about it, it'll be the last thing on their mind.
That's why I didn't guess
I
it
was like,
sooner.
Yeah,
That's funny.
I was just like, "Oh God, I cannot believe they're bringing that up right now." It's all the movies that they could bring up. Sandwich crazy, seriously?
That's amazing.
I was like, "Oh man." Yeah, I was like the sports. I was like, I mean, racing is kind of a sport, but not really. Like, I
Well,
don't-
street racing
yeah.
is a crime. It's not a sport. The Casper and the Furious.
Yeah, I cannot believe you guys brought up Fast and the Furious.
You're
Danielle's
welcome.
fault.
Yeah.
She said sandwich crazy.
You're welcome. It's Nick's fault. He
What is
mentioned
it, sandwich crazy?
crazy.
A stupid movie.
I don't remember what you
I
said.
don't remember.
I don't remember what I
That
gave.
was so long ago.
I don't remember what I rated Fast and the Furious, but I don't look back on it and go, "What a masterpiece!"
Wow, what I'm so glad.
In the moment, I
watched it.
wanted to watch all of them right
What
now.
you know? What
I couldn't.
You
be
know what I
bothered.
think back? I think back on it and go, "Do people like this as a bit?" Like that's genuinely my thought about Fast and Furious.
I see so many videos on Instagram of
it
just
might
people
be.
reenacting the dialogue at car shows with people. Like they'll just walk up and start doing the dialogue.
Like they make
And then everyone's
so
just looking at them
many.
like, what the hell's going on?
That's special. Don't do that. It's awful. Another movie I feel that way about two movies we've watched for the show. Like I look back and I'm like, are people watching this? Like, do they talk about it fondly as a half joke? And it's Fast and the Furious and Top Gun. Top Gun blows. The movie is awful. Sucks.
Planes.
Dude, it's so dumb. It's so dumb. Like, can we not see like it's overt like propaganda with a side of like absolute homosexuality, which is great. But like, just kiss them.
Just be that.
We don't need giant fighter planes to like hammer the point of how straight we are home. It's a bad movie, dude.
I think we do.
That is a movie you can only like if you were like of a certain age when you saw it, I think. And you saw it in that era. Like you cannot watch that movie for the first time in 2023 and be like, what a great film. Because I didn't and you can't. And I'm in charge. Danielle, what's our next movie?
We're gonna watch 1991's The Addams Family.
Snap,
Ba-na-na-na, if you will. That's how
you
it
will.
goes.
A movie I know nothing about other than Christopher Lloyd's in it.
Well, Cat is Wednesday.
Oh, yeah.
I have dressed up as Wednesday for Halloween many years. Not many
Nice.
years, but at least like 3 or 4, which
Now-
is enough.
I don't know anything
The
about
Addams Family, it's old, right?
There is also, it was a TV show,
From
like in black and white
Yeah.
back in the day. Like, oh,
like when the Andy Griffith Show was
Yeah.
on TV.
yeah.
Classic.
Old.
So the 1991 movie is a remake, but it is a
reboot?
Halloween classic.
Is
So.
it tied to the Wednesday show at all? Or is that
No.
another
I mean,
reset?
I say it's another reset.
what's her name? You just said
Christina
from-
Ricci?
Yeah, she's apparently in the Wednesday show.
The Wednesday show was really good. I really liked it.
Nice.
She-
Was it
she-
was it a one and done? Like it's over.
No, they're doing a season 2. It comes out next year, I think.
Damn, it's taking forever.
It
to
took
make,
well, everything takes forever now.
I guess.
So, but
Was
no,
the Monsters show before the Addams Family show?
the Munster show.
Yeah.
I
black and
don't
white, too.
know.
Are those connected franchises?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Maybe it's part of Universal's Monster
spooky
Universe thing or
families.
something.
Monster.
Yeah.
No, I don't remember how old I was when I watched this. I think I was in I think it was 5th or 6th grade. I don't know. My mom was like, "We have to watch this. Like, it's a classic movie," and I really liked it. So I have a lot of nostalgia for it.
That makes
so.
me scared to watch it.
Why?
If we're honest, because we just spent like an hour
Nostalgia,
shitting
yeah.
on Casper.
I think Addams Family. I think will hold up better than Casper.
It's more of an essential watch, you think?
I think so.
I feel like watching Casper.
It's more of an adult movie.
It was my fault.
Yeah.
But not great.
I
It's
feel like
not.
I've seen it, but it's been so long that maybe I only saw it on TV in parts.
It's
I don't
weird,
know.
but it feels
Yeah.
more charming.
Shaman.
It's not Tim Burton,
Casper's.
right? Or was it?
I don't think so.
No.
Casper wasn't charming.
It just has that kind of aesthetic.
Angelica
Kind of Beetlejuice
Houston is in
vibe.
it from Cameron's favorite movie, Ever After.
Who?
She and Ever After.
She was the stepmom.
The movie
Oh,
blows.
yeah.
Oh, Angelica Houston. Yeah. Well, she just looks like Morticia.
She would be, yeah.
Like she looks more
perfect.
like Morticia than anyone ever.
Yeah, it's perfect.
It is perfect. Gomez. Oh, Christopher Lloyd's uncle Fester.
My gosh.
Nice.
Created from the cartoon 1964 television series.
I thought there was also a live action television.
No, that was
series.
it. That
Oh,
was
okay,
it.
okay,
It was a cartoon first, and the 1964 television.
Ah,
series.
okay.
No, Barry Sonnenfeld directed it. He did the Addams Family Values, the Men in Black trilogy,
Interesting.
and 1999's Wild Wild West.
They feel very tonally different.
But Charles Addams was the cartoonist, and some of his recurring characters became known as the Addams Family, named after him, actually.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. Indeed.
There
So
you
there you
go.
go. We're gonna watch. How many times can we say "there you go" in a row? We're gonna watch Addams Family for Halloween. Spooky.
So on theme. More
fun
on
fact.
theme than Hellboy.
Halloween is my least favorite holiday. Just don't care about it. We weren't allowed to trick or treat as kids, so I have no like positive feelings associated with
Yep.
Halloween. So because trick or treating turns into the devil or something, I don't know.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Hey,
you got to be careful.
2000s evangelical logic, not airtight.
Who would have thought?
It's even worse now.
Not me.
It just gets
It is
worse.
like
even
Casper
worse.
ghost logic, yeah.
Wow, we are just as a society marching towards stupidity. We're getting dumber and dumber.
And on that
And
note,
On that note, we're gonna end the show and go enjoy some of the fall weather because it's like 65 degrees outside in Florida, which is crazy. We only get it for the next 48 hours, and then it's back to the
gotta
mid
go,
80s.
gotta go soak it up.
Which it's
Very
like
small window.
40 degrees where Carl is. He's freezing.
Wow, must be
Oh,
nice.
man.
It warmed up, but it was like 45 this morning, I think.
He bought gloves for his
Yeah.
bicycle.
Yeah.
Gotta
not for
keep
the
I have
Bill-
gloves and slippers, fur-lined
Not
slippers.
for the bicycle. Bicycles
I'll
don't
be
have
okay.
hands. They can't wear gloves. But for him when he's on it.
Yes, yes.
Anyway,
I understood.
I digress. We're gonna watch the Addams Family snap, and we'll catch y'all in the next one.